Hey, I'm Natalie. Glad you could join me today. We are going to be creating a dream catcher. First, you're going to need a paper plate and a piece of paper. You're going to trace around the paper plate with your pencil. Next, you're going to lay a piece of tracing paper on top of the circle that you sketched. Trace over that circle, and then you're going to cut it out. You're now going to fold the tracing paper in half and in half again so that you have fourths. Cut one of those fourths out. That's going to be where you put your line design in order to create that radial design. I'm lining mine up within the circle, and I actually had a pattern that I already created that I would like to recreate. So I am using it as a reference. That's why it's on the side if you notice on the left. And I'm just drawing random lines, like some wiggly lines, some zigzaggy lines, but I want to make with those lines some shapes that I will be able to color in. Mention that I am using an ebony pencil for this step. An ebony pencil, or if you want to use like a 4B or a 6B, a dark pencil, would be a great pencil to use because you're going to be retracing your design, flipping it back and forth to make sure that it transfers onto that circle. So if you notice what I'm doing right now, I am flipped the design over to the right side, and now I'm tracing it. So what will happen is you'll see the design appear on that right side of the upper quadrant of the circle. Ta-da! Now I'm going to flip it over and line it up on the other side, and I'm going to actually use a little bit of tape. I'm using a little bit of Scotch tape just to hold the design in place so it doesn't move while I'm tracing, because the tracing paper is so thin it has a tendency to sort of move around while I'm working. Tracing paper to the next section and trace again. Be mindful to flip the design over so it lines up and matches. You'll see if it doesn't look right, the design won't match up, and just flip it over. So you should have pencil on both sides, so it should be easy to transfer your design. Once you're done with this section, move it to the next. Once this step is done, it's time for Sharpie. So you're going to Sharpie the whole thing, like that. color with colored pencils, and I'm using some Prismacolor pencils, which are awesome for overlapping and creating other colors. They blend really, really well together. I like this brand, but you are welcome to use whatever you want. If you feel that you want to do marker instead, or you want to use crayons or paint it, whatever you want to do, it's really up to you. Once you're done coloring, now it's time to cut it out. We're going to glue this on top of a piece of brown paper. I am using good old-fashioned Crayola washable glue. I'm just going to make sure I put a liberal amount on here, make sure it really sticks. Now that that's done, I'm going to use my hand sort of like a compass, keeping my hand resting in the middle of the circle, and I'm just sketching a line probably about 1/2 inch away to create a brown border, and then I'm going to cut it out. Use a hole puncher to punch some holes at the bottom. This is going to be where we add our strings, our beads, and our feathers. If you notice, I'm folding the string in half. It just makes it a lot easier to feed it through the little hole that I hole punched. Makes it easier so that it doesn't fray. And I'm actually tying the ends of the 2 strings together. This way it's easier to poke them through the bead. So I'm not poking 2 strings, it's just the knot I'm poking through. quickly, these pony beads are not going to cut it. The holes are too small. So I'm breaking out some larger beads. They're wooden beads and they have a larger hole, but I'm also going to use this skewer to help me feed the string through the bead. Another thing I realized after poking myself with the pointy end of the skewer is that I should have turned the skewer over. So if you are using a skewer, turn it over. The next thing that we're going to do is add some glue to the center of the feather, so where it's a little bit stronger, and then I'm actually using that to help the beads not fall off the string. So I'm shoving that side of the feather with the glue on it inside the end bead. So that should help hold those beads on. And that's it. We have finished making our beautiful dream catcher. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and hopefully you can create one of these on your own. If you do, don't forget to send me a picture in the comments. Thanks for watching.